We're back for another lesson in Ray's Arithmetic, and this is in our multiplication section. This is going to be lesson number 39. And see there, besides our regular x's, which stands for 10, 10, and 10, right there we've got a subtraction problem. How did that get in there? That is, see the I before the x? Well, in Roman numerals, when you got a small before a large numeral, then you subtract. So 1 from 10 is what that is. The I before the x means 10 minus 1, and that's 9. So solving the puzzle all across the board, it's 10 and 10 and 10 and 9, and that, of course, adds up to 39. Well, let's get on with lesson 39 without further ado, and let's see what the problems are. Now, multiplication is taking one number and multiplying it times another. So, for example, if we have 1 times 2, that's 2. I'll show you that here. 1 times 2 is 2. A stretched out 2 here. And then likewise, if we turn that around, if we have 2 times 1, 2 times 1, that's also 2. Let's try it with a 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then if you reverse the order on those first two numbers, you got a 3 and a 1. 3 times 1 is still 3. You see that? Pretty cool, huh? 1 times 4, let's do that. 1 times 4 is 4. And then we switch the 1 and the 4 around, so now we have 4 and 1. 4 times 1 is what? That's also 4. Now let's do 1 times 5. 1 times 5 is how many do you think? Of course, it's 5. And then 5 times 1. What's 5 times 1? Yeah, that's also 5. How about 1 times 6? 1 times 6 is 6. And then 6 times 1 would be how much? 6 times 1 is also 6. Let's do 1 times 7. How many are 1 times 7? 1 times 7 is 7. And then 7 times 1 would also be 7. Alright, let's do a couple more of these. How about 1 times 8? 1 times 8 is, you guessed it, 8. And that would mean 8 times 1, 8 times a straight 1, is also 8. Okay, how about 1 times 9? 1 times 9 is 9. How about 9 times 1? 9 times 1 is also 9. Alright, let's do one more pair. How about 1 times 10? How much are 1 times 10? 1 times 10 are 10. And 10 times 1, that would also be 10. Okay, you feel warmed up and ready for some story problems? Okay, we'll do those next. First one, we've got John, who bought 2 figs at 1 cent each. How much did they cost? How much did those figs cost? Well, he's got 2 figs, that's what he bought, and he paid 1 cent for each one of those figs. So how much did those figs cost altogether? That's 2 times 1, isn't it? Well, 2 times 1 is how much? As we just learned on the other chalkboard, 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, how about Henry? Henry paid 1 cent for a slate pencil. And a slate pencil is, well, it's a special kind of a pencil, and a slate's like a chalkboard, kind of like what I'm writing on here. So anyway, it cost him 1 cent. At that rate, how much would 3 of those pencils cost? So if Henry paid 1 cent for a slate pencil, let's say he wanted to buy 3 of them. How much would he have to pay altogether? Well, 1 times 3 is what? Is 3. So he would need to pay 3 cents to buy 3 slate pencils. Likewise with some apples. If apples cost 1 cent apiece, how much would 4 apples cost? So if apples were 1 cent apiece, and we wanted to buy 4 apples, how much money would we need? How many cents is that? Is that 1 times 4? Yes, and that would be 4 cents, wouldn't it? 4 cents is what we need for the apples. How about if we wanted to buy some tape? Let's say we wanted to buy 1 yard of tape and it cost 1 cent. But we got a big project that we're working on, so we need 5 yards. So how much would 5 yards of tape cost? Well, if 1 yard of tape cost 1 cent, how many cents would 5 yards cost? Well, that'd be 1 times 5, wouldn't it? 1 times 5 is 5 cents. Alrighty. What will the cost be of 6 yards of silk if 1 yard cost $1? So if we got 6 yards of silk, and we know that silk is $1 per yard, 1 yard of it costs $1. So how much would those 6 yards of silk cost at $1 a yard? Well, that would be 6 times 1. 6 times 1 is what? 6. Okay, let's do a couple more. If a car travels 1 mile in a minute, how far will it travel in 7 minutes? So if a car travels 1 mile in 1 minute, how far will it travel in 7 minutes? Well, that's just a matter of 1 times 7, isn't it? So 1 times 7 is what? 7. So that car would travel 7 miles in 7 minutes. Okay, now let's see. We're back to the store. We're going to buy a toy book. A toy book, I guess that's a book about toys, would cost a cent, 1 cent. How much must Mary pay for 8 toy books? Well, if 1 toy book cost 1 cent, Mary wants to buy 8. I guess she's got a lot of presents to buy. Well, 8 of those toy books would cost how much? At 1 cent each, it would be 1 times 8, which is what? 8 cents is what Mary needs. Now we're back to buying tape. How much would 9 yards of tape cost at 1 cent per yard? So how much would 9 yards of tape cost if each yard cost 1 cent? Well, 9 times 1 would give us the answer. And that's 9, isn't it? 9 yards of tape cost 9 cents. Okay, let's do one more of these. Let's go from yards of tape to eggs. If eggs are worth 1 cent each, how much would 10 eggs be worth? In other words, if an egg cost 1 cent each, and if I wanted to buy 10 eggs, how many cents would we need to pay for 10 eggs? So that's just 1 times 10, isn't it? 1 times 10, that is 10 cents is what you'd need. It'd be nice if eggs were that cheap. Okay. Well, that's all for the story problems and the multiplication problems for lesson 39. We'll go on to lesson 40 next time and do some more multiplication when we get together. So meanwhile, if you need to go catch up on some other lessons, previous lessons, you can go to Ray's Arithmetic website, raysmath.com will get you there. And you can view all the lessons and plus other information about homeschool solutions and ideas that can help you out. So we'll see you next time we get together. Bye-bye.